Hi, Sonia. How are you?
Robert, nice to see you.
This is Paul.
Hi,
Nice
Sonia.
to meet you. Sonia, why don't you sit down?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in again.
My pleasure.
So, Sonia, you know, Paul, again, you'd be working directly with him, and you know, we have your resume in front. I just, you know, want to go through a couple of things so Paul can hear what I heard the last time.
Okay.
You went to Harvard, and we see that, but the most interesting for me is that a few years ago you taught English in Budapest. Why don't you tell Paul a little about that?
I did. I was right out of college. I thought it would be great to be able to travel and have a little adventure, and it was lucky that this came along because it was also meaningful. And so I
Did you do it alone?
Yeah, actually I did. I did.
No boyfriends or?
No, no. I did it alone, and part of the adventure, you know.
How long were you there?
I was there for a year.
A year.
Yeah, and it was so interesting, you know.
What was your biggest challenge?
Getting up in front of a class, you know, a class of 40 people, don't speak the language. I had never taught before. It was a little intimidating, you know, at the beginning, and it was a great challenge. But I, you know, soon learned to feel comfortable and kind of give what I had to offer. And
yeah, because you don't strike me as the type who'd be easily intimidated. You
well,
seem very self-confident and assured.
Well, yeah, you know, another culture, you know, 40 Hungarians, you know. But it was a great experience. I learned so much.
Sure. What would you say is your greatest strength?
Well, I would say working with a team, definitely, yeah, because I'm by nature someone who sort of thinks they can do everything by themselves, a self-starter, you know, someone who's like, I can do it better, you know. And I've really learned on my last job that working with a team is so beneficial. And
so your last job was the internet?
Yeah, it was the internet company in which I came in sort of thinking like, you know, let me stay till 10 at night, I'll do it all.
Sure.
And it sounds cliche, but I really learned that, you know, the bigger the group, the more you get done. And especially if you work well together, and that's what I really focus on, you know, having good relationships, and, you know, from those relationships, a lot of productivity.
Good.
And, yeah.
What about being a self-starter?
Well, I think that comes naturally to me. I was an only child, and I did very well academically, and I was always like, go, 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 I can do it, I can do it. I think this is an incredible company. Like, I believe in this company so much. I mean, when I first moved here, it was like the talk of the town. I use it.
Where are you living right now? Like, what part of the town?
I live like I live really close. I live like about a 10-minute walk.
Oh, excellent.
Right down the street.
Do you live alone?
I do, yeah. Just with my 2 Yorkshires.
Just with your dog?
What would you bring here besides what you said, the enthusiasm and the dedication and kindness? What's the net of what do you bring to BecknCall, our company? Well,
I mean, in a way, like maybe this isn't the most appropriate thing to say in an interview, because you think I should say, oh, I graduated from Harvard and my degree in political science, you know, and I did this in my other job, and I'm a really hard worker, and that's really important to me, but I definitely would say I think the most important thing is being a good person, being kind, and working well with other people. And, you know, it might sound soft, but that's really what I believe in. Like, that's the most important thing, for having close friendships, close relationship with my family.
So, Sonia, if we initially area. If you could describe yourself in 4 adjectives, well, you know, I know that's difficult, but what would be those adjectives?
Determined.
Determined.
Focused. Creative. And dedicated.
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 Right. In the current position that you have now, why do you want to leave your job?
Well, I'm moving here.
Right.
My husband just recently got a job
I
here,
see.
so I'm, I'm kind of starting all over again from scratch, and I'm looking for employment, and I think that this would be a good place for me to be.
Right. What's been, in some of your work situations, your biggest challenge that you've faced?
My biggest challenge would probably be I'm very, very determined sometimes, and sometimes that works for you,
Sure.
and sometimes it can work against you. So sometimes I find myself catching myself, like be a team player,
Sure.
even though I think that I've taught myself to be a team player.
Well, and how does that usually manifest itself? I mean, are you argumentative, defensive?
Not so much argumentative or defensive, just more, I guess I come in with an abundance of information, like we can do this, we can do that,
Sure.
Tons of ideas, and it's not
An area where our client base has shifted dramatically over the last few years to have more Hispanic and African American clients in and around our base.
I think that that would actually be a great marketing strategy, especially if you are starting to have a greater ethnic base, Hispanics and African Americans. Having a representative that people can easily identify with would be, I think, a great marketing strategy.
And what skills do you bring to us? I mean, in a nutshell.
Well, in a nutshell, I love the concept of your company, having
Thank
things
you.
delivered to people. I mean, it's great. When I'm at home at 8 o'clock at night and I want some Haagen-Dazs ice cream,
We can do it.
you can do it.
Do you
I
ride
think
a
that
bike?
I can, but I choose to drive at this point in time. But I think the concept is great, and I would love to contribute to the marketing strategies, and because I feel that I am a creative person, I would love to contribute in that way. And I think that I would definitely be a good representative of your company in terms of bringing it to other ethnic groups, Hispanics and African Americans.
Great.
So,
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming in. We're going to get back to you
Thank you.
very shortly. Thank you very much.
it was a pleasure meeting
Pleasure
you.
meeting you too.
Take care.
Bye now.
Wow. Can you give me just 2 minutes before we get down to
Oh,
this?
sure.
I need to make
sure.
a call.
No problem.
Thanks.
Sure. Hey, Paul.
Hey, thanks.
Everything
So-
all right?
Yeah,
Good.
all's well. So what do you think?
I thought they were both very, very good, very smart. Both have, I think, just good, nice, upbeat personalities. They're good experience. I like both of them. I have a leaning toward Jacqueline.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to say I was leaning more towards Sonia.
Well, we knew that right from the beginning. Come on.
Not for the reasons you think.
Oh,
Look,
right,
I think,
right.
I think, no, I thought she was warm. I thought she was certainly a people person. And if we are grooming one of these people to actually go out and make calls to customers, I have to say I was leaning towards Sonia.
Where I think Jacqueline takes it a little bit more was that she did some selling.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're telling me that Sonia doesn't know how to sell?
Both of them had good customer service dealing with the
Okay,
public.
so then why
I
don't we
think-
get down to what it's really about? And I think that you're leaning towards Jacqueline because she was a minority. And you feel that this is an area that it would be helpful to us in dealing with our minority communities.
That's on the money. You know, also that I think she's very smart, personable, has sold, is very grounded, and is hungry. I felt that they're both very, very good. But I would lean, yes, toward Jacqueline.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my concern is that it's over the 3 years I put this team together, and I feel like I know them in perhaps ways that you don't because I work with them much more closely.
Yes.
I really believe that Sonia is a better fit for the team that we have assembled here. Not that there was anything wrong with Jacqueline, but I'll be honest, I found her a little standoffish.
You are. You were really very open and gregarious with Sonia. You weren't to that level, if we honor the truth, with Jacqueline.
Well, that's a two-way street, though. So,
Some
I mean,
of
come
the-
on, cards on the table. You really believe, if these two, I mean, on paper, they're equal. You're leaning
Yes.
towards Jacqueline because she's African-American.
I would honor the truth and say yes, with the caveat that it's not just because she's African American. It's because she has, I thought, incredible skills.
I have to say, I take exception with hiring somebody just because they're a minority versus a non-minority, because in essence, that is the same discrimination that you're trying to avoid.
We don't have anyone in your department who is not Caucasian. It's not about race, but it is about opening up our company to and giving an opportunity to other people to move into
And I'm all
management.
for that, you know, and if you could point out things that were absolutely put Jacqueline that much higher
Well,
than
it's not even
Sonia.
about that much higher. You know what some of it is? For me, there's a determination of focusedness, and she's married. And I think the marriage gives a certain level of stability.
So now you're
to
discriminating against single people?
Come on.
Well,
you know, I'm not
what
just-
does that mean?
No, we're having a straight up
We
conversation.
don't know how stable that marriage is. That's ridiculous.
Well,
I mean, what, she
I'm
follows
not-
her
wait,
husband here
one
on his
second.
new job?
I'm not
I mean-
characterizing anything you say as ridiculous. So
Okay.
watch where you're coming
Okay.
from, right?
My
I
apologies.
don't, usually put up like the thing, I'm the boss and you work for me.
Oh.
But I don't call you ridiculous. Come on.
Well, okay. But aren't there some type of there's some legalese about having to hire so many minorities when you have so many
I don't know the
employees
exact number.
or-
We have, minorities working for BecknCall. At this moment, none are at the management level, and this is the entry point for us into management level and meeting directly with clients. So it's a more visible position.
So you really believe that Jacqueline, being a minority, will speak somehow more effectively to this new emerging market?
I think that Sonia's energy of our clients right now, she was so over the top, so out there. I think in some ways we need somebody who is very focused, determined, quiet, who does the job and is not as enthusiastic.
I've never heard of enthusiasm being a detriment to a person in terms of sales work and working with people.
Well, sometimes it can, because knowing some of our clients, the enthusiasm can take it over the top. But my read is we go with Jacqueline, and not just because of her ethnic background,
But that
because
is the majority of it.
that's part of the mix, but it's not the whole thing. I mean, we go with Jacqueline, and we give her a trial period. We do it for a 4-month period, see where she works out. That's my read on it.
All right.
Can you work with her?
Well, yeah,
Okay,
I can
let's
work
make
with
it happen.
anybody. You're the boss.
Let's make it happen. I thought that both interviews went very, very well, and both candidates were very, very good. As far as legal stuff, we're not hiring anyone solely on the basis of what they look like, but on the total mix, their business experience, their education, their personality, and I think one that's underlying it all, how well will they fit in with this team that we've put together of our 50 people, and with the person who would manage them, which would be Paul in this instance. So no, I don't see it as any legal problems. We're not hiring or someone based on their physical appearance, but on the total mix. And on the total mix, I would go with Jacqueline.